Shiba Inu to the moon. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel, Shiba Inu, Shib Army, all you fans out there. So glad to have you guys today. But Shiba Inu to the moon, Shiba Inu to the moon. That is what I'm seeing everywhere. And it's really exciting because there is potential of Shiba Inu going to the moon eventually. But there are a few things in the charts that are letting us know here in this short period of time, we may need a little bit of a cooling off period, a pullback. Is this just a bear market rally? We're going to dive into the charts today. We're going to determine that. We're going to look at the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour chart. We're going to really see what is going on for Shiba Inu. We're also going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum because there's been a few signs popping up inside of the Bitcoin charts that indicate, oh, shoot, maybe everything is overextended. So we're going to take a look at that today. It's going to be a very great video. We're also going to jump into the news on Shiba Inu. We're going to jump into the news on all of crypto. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Ryan Huggins, and I'm a real estate agent and a crypto and real estate investor here in Southern California. And my job is to help be your crypto shortcut. Most people, and if you're like most people, you don't have the opportunity to spend hours and hours a day reading through articles, watching YouTube channels all day long. Well, that is what I do. I watch all the crypto channels, I read a bunch of articles, and I bring that news to you in a condensed fashion. So if you're looking for a crypto shortcut, smash that subscribe button. I'm here for you. We have 6 contributors on this channel coming with a video every single day, so you will not be disappointed. But if you're like most people, you probably also like to win free stuff. So here's how you can win free crypto. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to this video. You automatically get entered into a chance to win $100. Also, if this video gets 5,000 likes, I'm going to throw an additional $100 to one of you lucky comments down in the comment section of this specific video. So here we are. Why am I telling you be careful? Watch what's going on. Because if you look at the charts here, there's a few things starting to develop. Number one, our indicator here, the Nadaria Watson envelope, which does a good job of kind of showing you where the trend is looking. We're looking like we're starting to roll over a little bit here, if you'll notice, right? And then also, if we go back into the daily charts, obviously we had the train tracks right here, the shadow here, or the wick, whatever you prefer to call them, 2 top wicks starting to make the pullback. We also had a very large charge today to the upside, basically filling in any of this section here, leaving a nice wick in that area as well. Now starting to pull back. Now it did drop off of our 1-hour supply and demand zone, which was this box here. It dropped right off the bottom of that yesterday, exploded up to the upside. We did not quite make it up to the top side hourly supply and demand box. And we will jump into those smaller time frames here in just a minute. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, the real emergency signal indicating that we could potentially be coming down for a pullback here is price has gotten to such an extreme on the overbought territory here. So we've gotten all the way up to 75. And once you breach the 70, it's considered oversold. We went all the way to 75, which is crazy. Now, there is still some interesting things that could play out here. Number one is typically price, will give us a bearish divergence for an indication that it's going to be coming to the downside. So here we are on the daily charts. Here we are on the 4-hour charts, and nothing indicates a bearish divergence, which is a good thing. So if we do have some sort of pullback, it's not going to be as fast as the rocket ship to the moon, it doesn't look like, all right? And if we take a look here at the 1-hour chart, it's actually starting to flatten out here on our 1-hour supply and demand zone, which we talked about the other day. So let me go ahead and remove this channel. We don't need the channel because we do have the trend line that's already starting to develop here on the 1-hour. So this is our trend line to the upside. If it breaks that, starts to make the move, we're going to be looking for it to come here to our 1-hour supply and demand zone on Shiba Inu, which is quad 01716. That's quad 01716 would be the resistance of this box. And then the once it breaks through there, it gets to the top, and then that box top is 1762, quad 01762. Okay, so that's where we're at. But what you'll notice though is over these, tons of time now, because we're currently on the August 16th, and this yesterday, August 14th or 15th was here. We recorded our video right here yesterday. You can see it did get right to the bottom of our supply and demand box, which we literally talked about. And we talked about this being a potential support. It did a great job. It broke to the outside. Now it is acting as a support to the top side of the supply and demand box. But like I said, we do have that really interesting trend line here, and it has rejected off there once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times now. We're waiting to see if that will finally make a break to the upside. If it does make a break to the upside, we could see a return to newer highs. We could see a return to new higher highs. And that would be interesting here because let's say, for example, if we're taking a look at price and price does start to make its way back up and price makes a new higher high here, and the RSI doesn't quite make it up to the higher high zone, then what will we have? We would then have the bullish. Why did that not go? We would have the bearish divergence, right? And if you guys have been following the channel, I like to see bearish divergences, bullish divergences, and I like to use those as my indicators because they work extremely well. So speaking of that, we do have one of our favorite indicators, divergence for many indicators. And you can see right before the explosion, we even had a crazy well, that's on the 4-hour. Let's look here on the daily chart. So here you can see we had a histogram, bearish divergence here. Boom, it crashed. And then right now, we just got the signal for the histogram, which we had here, bearish divergence, which it's had yesterday, had to come down. Today, we're coming down a little bit. We're still positive, though. We're still above 3% gains on the day. But we also have the CMF as well, which is the money flow, looking like we have some bearish divergences developing there. But it would be really interesting to see as price right now, you can see price is starting to come back inside of the Bollinger Bands, which you guys all know that's extremely important. That's another reason why price has to recover. It just got too far away. So we could see price returning back to the average price, which is this yellow line here, before it does make a bounce to the upside. But right now, we are definitely overbought. We are having a little bit of a correction coming back down to the downside, looking for the potential of a bearish divergence here on the 4-hour charts. It is rolling over right now on this new 4-hour candle. We have 1 hour and 30 minutes left on the daily candle, and then also, of course, on this last 4-hour candle. But right now, we're looking for this price starting to head back down. Is it going to come all the way to our supply and demand zone here and tap that? The other thing we want to take a look at now that we've had a lot more data come through, we can now go to our Heikin-Ashi candles, and we can get some more live data as far as our 4-hour information. So now that we have this 1-hour chart here, this is the last red candle before that down move. We can go ahead and box this in. Just trying to get this out of the way. There's the top of the wick. And remember, it's this candle in question. We just have it pulled off to the side, and then we'll go down. All right. And then, of course, what color does it need to be for the 4-hour? On this segment, we use red. Red is our 4-hour color. Blue is our 1-hour color. So now you can see right now, check this out. So we do have this 4-hour supply and demand box to the upside. And look where we have had support now, or resistance now, right? So we did not break that to the upside. Now we also want to see, do we have one to the downside? And we really don't, because we have this one and this one. And those are too close to be like, oh yeah, that's for sure ours. I mean, it's literally, well, here, let's just do it for the heck of it, right? So it's right here on this box and this box. So you can see how close those are. It's in this crazy pinch scenario right now, so nothing really is happening. But you can see, as far as the box to the upside, it used as rejection. It did break into this box down here that was supposed to be a support. Now we're seeing it come back down to the 1-hour support level. So that's what we're watching for right now. We have definitely some bearish signals here on this smaller time frame of the 4-hour. We take a look here at the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, look at this. It has the MACD, the histogram, the stochastic, the momentum, the on-balance volume, and this money flow all as bearish divergence is there. So you can see price is starting to come back since that indication. Set 6 different indicators of bearish divergence there. Over here was 7 before that major pullback came to our support level. So that's all interesting. Now let's jump back to the 4-hour. Let's clear everything because it's a little messy here. Turn off indicators, drawings, everything. Going to Heikinashi, 4-hour. And let's look, what do we have? So right now we have our bottom side 4-hour supply and demand box is here. So if for some reason price did start to get real bearish, there is no free fall catch, right? It's just an absolute drop because there was an absolute move to the upside. There is a little bit of a stop scenario where we're at right now, and that's on the 1-hour time frame. And again, we'll go blue with that one. That's our 1-hour time frame, blue and blue. There you go. So we have this. If it breaks here, this is something very important to watch right now. If it breaks here, we could see a drop back down to this zone back down here. But as of right now, we are still bullish, obviously, as far as all of our indicators go. So let's go ahead and flip our indicators back on. So let's go here. We'll go with market cipher A. This will give us our moving averages. You can see here on the hourly, and I talk about this a lot. If you guys have been watching the channel, if you're not watching frequently, make sure you subscribe so you know. But this white line is our 21 exponential moving average. And we talked about this a couple of days ago, actually, how price had gotten so far away from the moving average that it was going to come back. These moving averages act as a magnet. Well, it also got so far away from our 50 moving average, it came all the way back there and tapped it. Right now, you can see we are starting to like braid. I like to call it braiding the moving averages. They just kind of twist and twist. But right now, the yellow line is under our, or the white line is under our yellow line. So that is more of a bearish signal here on the 1-hour chart, because you can see when the white line crosses to the upside, it turns really bullish. And now we've gotten below it. It's looking a little bearish. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's the 1-hour. We look here on the 4-hour charts. Again, there's just plenty of room for it to just be coming back. It very likely may only coming back to the moving average, right? So a lot of people are freaking out. Oh my God, it's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. Well, we may have a pullback. First pullback will be here on a 4-hour to our 21 exponential. After that, it would be to the 50. After that, it would be to the actual supply and demand zone down here at the bottom. Now, when we jump all the way up to the daily charts, you can see if it were to come back to the price of the daily chart, it's all the way down here of this quad 0 1291 or 12, we'll just call it quad 0 130, right? And what was quad 0 130? Quad 0 130 was the ultimate resistance. That's the one line that we said, hey, once we break this, we know that we're going to be making a badass move to the upside. And sure enough, boom, it was literally in one candle, right? I mean, look at this candle exploded and then 2 more, 3 more candles and it was done. Very great move on that 4-hour chart. Same thing here on the daily. We are still showing green, right? And so this is positive. Momentum of the trend is still green. We haven't even flipped back red at all. Not even a little dip today. So we'll find out tomorrow, does our Heikinashi candle turn red, indicating a potential trend reversal. So that's where we're at right now. Let's look at the weekly chart as well, because this is very important. Flip back to the Japanese candlestick and check this out. So price ran all the way up above our 21 exponential moving average. Very, very exciting. Huge news. Very, very cool to see that. Very bullish. Okay. It came down, tested the 21 exponential as a support and rejected to the upside. Also very, very positive news. Very bullish. Because when you drop down to the daily chart here, this was the drop. Tapped right off that 21 exponential, and then today we've been moving up. So what we're looking for is that continued push to the upside and staying above this 21 exponential moving average, which that price is currently sitting at quad 0 1531, and coincidentally, it's basically the bottom of that supply and demand zone right there. Which if it breaks that quad 0 1514, quad 0 15, boom. We may see a return down. And also because of the fact that we have that giant fair value gap that's empty to the downside, it needs to be filled anyway. I mean, this is just, you don't want to leave a gap like this and then months later, after you've made a huge, massive return to the upside, have to come fill that gap. So it's actually better to take care of it now. We even still have one down here. I know that's not exciting because Shiba Inu to the moon, Shiba Inu to the moon, right? And I know all of you guys, I see in the comments, when you start talking about the potential of a downside, the SHIB army starts to lose its mind. But I need you to just keep your mind open. You have to know what could happen up and down. That's why we cover both up and down here. Just remember, there is some downside risk on Shiba Inu. Just keep that in mind. All right, we are up today 4.39%. Let's go take a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin. A lot faster with those, and then we'll jump over to the news. All right, so here we are on Ethereum. So as you can see, we have these fair value gaps to the upside that do need to be filled. And this is kind of the exact same thing we were talking about with Bitcoin. Now, what we'll notice here, though, on the weekly or with Shiba Inu, if you'll notice here on Shiba Inu, we were able to break above this 21 exponential moving average. Okay, so we were able to break above that with Shiba Inu. But here on Ethereum, it rejected last week. It pushed above it again this week. And then if you'll notice here, we have a 4-hour supply and demand zone, right? It's red. And you'll also notice exactly where price went to is to the tippity top of those supply and demand zones. They just work so well. Rejected off that, starting to come back down to the downside. There is a smaller 4-hour supply and demand zone that it's in right now. There's a fair value gap below it. And then there's also this 21 exponential moving average, which price may be returning to. And that is here at currently 1,754. As this moving average continues to climb and this price continues to fall, price and time could very likely meet, filling this fair value gap here at basically 1,790. If it doesn't bounce and support its way back to the upside from there, and we see it continue drop, then the next level of support is here at 1,693. And then, of course, there is still this giant fair value gap here on Ethereum. There's actually because it has been such an amazing move for Ethereum since this bottom, it did leave a couple of fair value gaps to the downside, but it has been fun to watch. It's been exciting to be a part of it. Also, let's take a look here. I want to show you guys the RSI. Okay, so our RSI also got on the daily overextended. It was overbought. We had a bearish divergence here. It did sell off a little bit, but fought back again. And now we have an even stronger move here to the overbought territory. It is starting to come back down. Now, what you'll see here, though, on our RSI, it just hit the average point of the RSI. If it breaks through there, we could see a drop back down to a lot lower lows. So let's go ahead and we'll remove the fair value gap. Let's move to the 4-hour supply and demand zones and get a better look. So as you can see, our 4-hour supply and demand zone has been holding very, very, very solid. On the 4-hour chart, we have now tapped the 50 moving average. It's still holding as support, which is nice. The 21 exponential is starting to come back down. It's carving down, but it has not bearish crossed back to the other side of that moving average. RSI all the way down here at 43. It does have plenty of room still to continue down slowly to the downside. Remember, oversold is all the way down here at 30. It did reach the overbought territory back here. Bearish divergence started to make its little crash. But as we talked about, if we go back to the Heikin-Ashi candles, same situation here. If this breaks to the downside, there's quite a fall that could potentially be happening here all the way back to 1693. However, if it continues and it bounces off here, we'll move our way back up to this 1970 level and then breaking above to the top side of our supply and demand zone of 2016, ultimately getting its way up here to the ultimate breakout line, 2160. Because if you take a look at what's going on with Ethereum on the daily charts, you can see this is basically the last area of resistance right here, this green candle, before it can fly up. Because look at this crazy hard drop, just a bunch of liquidations there. Well, as we climb up, there's going to be a lot of freeway to flow, and that would be getting us all the way back to 2776. So the daily's looking strong. We just may need a little pullback, tapping off the moving averages. We are currently sitting exactly on a 4-hour supply and demand zone support. We'll see if it holds. If not, we could see a drop to a lower low. Looking here at Bitcoin, Bitcoin also currently sitting right on a supply and demand zone. Let's jump down here to the 4-hour time frame. You can see price ran up to the top of our 4-hour supply and demand zones up here, decided to make its way down, and it has now broken into this 4-hour supply and demand zone using the bottom of this as a support twice. What you'll notice though, our 21 exponential moving average has now flipped bearish. It's instead of it being white, it's darker gray, and it's very likely it may actually even turn to the cross, right? So we might even get the 4-hour cross and see a drop there for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to drop, the next level is the 4-hour supply and demand zone down here at 23,092 as a support, and there is plenty of room on the RSI for it to drop as well. So just keeping you updated with what could go up, what could go down. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, just financial entertainment, financial education. Let's jump over the news and see what's going on. All right, so here we are on Crypto Panic, and let's see what's trending right now. What is Doge Chain? The so-called Dogecoin Layer 2 for DeFi, NFTs, and games. So that's interesting. Bitcoin, Ethereum prime for a bullish boost at Brazil's largest broker opens trading. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried names use cases that give crypto the bulk of its power. Lunar Crush ranks Dogecoin #1 based on relative combined social plus market activity. And if you have not used this site, actually, Lunar Crush, it's actually really cool. And it does have a little bit of a leading indicator type of feel to it, because you'll see like a lot of hype starts to come about a coin, and then 24, 48 hours later, if Lunar Crush had it labeled as a lot of potential momentum, money flows to it. It's really interesting. Go check out Lunar Crush. It's a pretty cool site. Solana price is poised for a potential 95% crash. More bearish FUD for Solana. People are always trashing on Solana when it was like, it was the bee's knees last year, and now people are like, oh my God, it's the worst ever, just because it crashes a lot, you know? Coinbase to halt Ethereum transactions during the merge as a precautionary measure. So you need to know that that could potentially happen to you and your coins. Keep that in mind. Cryptocurrency scam revenue falls 65% in a year, new data shows, because everyone right now doesn't buy anything. So the scams are not going to be able to scam anybody. When you are making all these crazy gains and you're just throwing money everywhere because you're taking gains, throwing it here and there and there and there and there and there and there, you can get scammed very easy. So right now, everyone's real tight with their money, really just holding on to it. Bitcoin miners suffer over $1 billion loss in Q2 of 2022. All right, some other headlines I wanted to cover with you here over at Cointelegraph, some pretty good stuff. Celsius CEO personally directed crypto trades months before bankruptcy. So basically, he tried to be a trader with everyone's money. He sucked at it and lost everyone's money. So that's obviously not good. Bitcoin traders anticipate new yearly lows after BTC's 25K rejection. So make sure we keep an eye on the prices. Like I said, it ran up, all of them, Ethereum, Bitcoin, boom, but they did hit some key levels that indicate we might be seeing a return to the downside for another attempt of the bottom. Coinbase to halt those trading. Bitcoin price hits multi-day low as data warns of overbought stocks. Tornado Cash shows that DeFi can't escape regulation. All right, jumping over here to Twitter. Let's see what's going on with SHIB token. Any new tweets? August 5th, August 14th. So nothing new from them. Let's go to Shytoshi Kusama and see what is going on here. Sad response. Someone was crying about Shiba Inu and the fact that it uses electricity and power and this, that, and the other. But then they deleted their tweet. So very interesting. But anyway, so nothing important or key there. Let's jump over to Bull Runners Club. Don't forget, we are launching this week. Literally, could be today, could be tomorrow, could be the next day. So we're keeping you off guard, keeping you excited, keeping you ready. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you head over to bullrunners.com. Don't forget to come over to Twitter, like this post, retweet it, do all the good stuff. Comment 777 down below. The first 1,000 people will get VIP whitelist access. Will that be you?